Hello everyone, this is Bradekus, aka Naglaria Fileri. Today I'm bringing you guys a simple guide for low-level gladiator / paladin tanking. This guide is how I do things, but there are many other options on rotations and so forth. Also understand this is a guide for beginners. We're going to go over a few things that are important to know. First things we're going to go over is getting your signs and putting them on your hotbar. Simply go to your party menu, select signs, and pull the signs from the menu to the hotbar. Next, if you choose to use waymarkers, grab them. They are also in the party menu under waymarkers. If you're interested in performing ready checks, this is also found in your party menu at the very bottom. As you can see, I already have all my stuff in order, so I'm going to go ahead and change gear and jump into the duty finder. So let's talk about the party list. As you can see, there are job / class icons on the left with a symbol and bars under them. This is the threat table for the currently selected mob. The A symbol basically tells you that you have aggro of the currently selected mob. If the table showed a 1, that simply means you have the highest threat generated for your group, but that mob is not aggroed onto you. The numbers 2 through 4 show what rank a player is on the threat table, 2 being the highest, 4 being the lowest. In larger groups, that number will change from 4 to 8. You can also notice the bars under the job / class icon. That bar simply shows threat. The more full the bar is, the more threat is being generated. Once a player fills that bar, that player will pull aggro of a mob. Next, let's talk about the enemy list. The red flashing square you see is a visual representation of threat. The symbol shows you have aggro on the mob. There are 3 other symbols you can see: green, yellow, and orange. Green being little or no threat, yellow being a mid threat, orange being higher threat but not aggro. Next, you can select on any mob in the enemy list to target that enemy. Once selected, the mob will be highlighted, and the aggro table for the selected mob will be represented on the party list. Now let's discuss the foundation to pulling mobs as a paladin. Just run up and shield lob the closest mob and flash all nearby chain mobs as they get close. Flashing 2 to 4 times will establish a threat table on the group. Once you have established threat, go into your 1-2 or 1-2-3 combo depending on what level you are. Note that some abilities, including regen, will cause mobs to aggro onto another player. You can click these off before a pull, or you'll have to generate enough threat to suppress that player's aggro on the mobs. When you gain new abilities as you level, you should incorporate them into your pulls, but this is the simple foundation to paladin tanking. In general, if you're still having issues with holding a group, simply add more flash until you unlock better threat generating AoE moves. Now let's talk about marking mobs. I'm going to select one of these adds. I'm going to mark it with a 1 and the other with a 2. This is going to show the group that I intend on focusing my threat on the 1 and after it dies on the 2. This encourages the DPS to focus the threat where you are without having to communicate with them through party chat or VoIPs. You can mark as many as you like, but usually 1 to 3 marks is sufficient for most groups. Now let's talk about flashing in adds to our threat table as they're introduced into the fight. I'm going to go about my business as usual, but I'm going to make sure I use my abilities to regen some mana. Now that the adds have been introduced to the fight, I'm simply going to run up to them and throw out a few flashes to gain aggro on the whole entire group. I'll proceed to mark them, and we'll go ahead and bring them all down. Now let's discuss generating quick aggro on bosses. Simply pop fight or flight, shield lob as you run in, turn the boss around facing his back to the party, and go into your 1-2 or, if your level's appropriate, 1-2-3 combos. Next thing to discuss is paying attention to your surroundings. Watching what's going on around you is key to being a good tank. Getting tunnel vision is the worst thing you can do. We want to watch for adds and other mechanics that could cause ourselves or other party members to die. So those are the basics to being a gladiator / paladin. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and give you the information you needed to be a better tank. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitter and on Twitch. I'll have links below.